China won the $300 billion canal project and won the right to operate it for 100 years. This will completely change the world's shipping pattern. Why should China take on a project that Americans have given up on? How is the project going now? Let's find out more in this video. The Chinese company successfully won the right to build the Nicaragua Canal and the right to operate it for 100 years. Once the canal is successfully dug, it will share the shipping pressure of the Panama Canal, bring huge economic benefits to Nicaragua, and is expected to change the pattern of world shipping. The idea of this canal was proposed as early as the beginning of the 19th century, but it was shelved due to difficulties such as terrain and volcanic groups. Now that the project was won by a Chinese company in 2013, there has been no news of general aviation so far. How is this going? As early as the early 19th century, the gold rush in the western United States was once on the rise. For the convenience of transportation, there was the idea of building the Nicaragua Canal. However, the idea of building the canal was rejected due to the presence of active volcanoes in Nicaragua. The location of the Nicaragua Canal is very superior. It is located in the upper reaches of the Panama Canal and is an important waterway connecting the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. Later, in order to shorten the distance from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean, the United States built the Panama Canal. Therefore, the digging of the Nicaragua Canal has become indefinite. But Nicaragua never gave up its dream of building a canal. Because in the eyes of this small country, owning a canal is equivalent to owning wealth codes. The planned length of this canal route is 276 kilometers, 3 times that of the Panama Canal. The width of the bottom of the channel is more than 230 meters, and the water depth is about 27.6 meters. The maximum tonnage of ships that can pass through this canal can reach 400,000 tons. However, because Nicaragua is too poor to independently undertake the construction of this canal, and does not have the technology to build a large canal, it can only bid for the project internationally. The Chinese HKND Group won the bid, not only has the right to undertake the construction, but also won the right to operate for 100 years. The first is economic benefits. Nicaragua is located in Central America, connecting North and South America. It borders the Caribbean Sea to the east and the Pacific Ocean to the west, with a land area of 130,400 square kilometers and a population of about 6.546 million. Nicaragua's poverty is caused by its single industry. Now that the world has entered the era of industrialization, Nicaragua's economy is still mainly based on agriculture and animal husbandry, which will inevitably lead to its backward status. Therefore, the construction of the Nicaragua Canal is very important to this country. Some experts estimate that after the opening of the canal, Nicaragua's GDP will at least double, and Nicaragua will get rid of poverty and become one of the richest countries in Central America. Followed by social benefits. Once the Nicaragua Canal is successfully opened, it will greatly facilitate the maritime trade of many countries. After the opening of the canal, it will save 2 months for ships to sail from Venezuela to China. If a Chinese ship sails from Shanghai to Baltimore in the United States, the voyage of this canal will be 4,000 kilometers less than that of the Suez Canal. The shortening of the transportation cycle will greatly reduce the transportation time and cost. The Nicaragua Canal is geographically close to the Panama Canal. If some large cargo ships cannot pass through the Panama Canal, they can turn to the Nicaragua Canal. The Nicaragua Canal can help the Panama Canal reduce the pressure on the waterway, so the two canals can be complementary, and cargo ships also have an additional route choice. From a political point of view, in the process of digging and operating the Grand Canal, China can also expand its economic influence in Central America, strengthen trade exchanges with Central American countries, and enhance China's international influence. Although the investment in digging the canal is not small, it can be said to be beneficial to China after it is completed. However, the canal, which can bring so many benefits, was originally planned to be put into use in 2020, but it has not been successfully dug so far. It is because there are many difficulties in the excavation of this canal. When the canal was planned to be dug, it was opposed by many people in Nicaragua, and a large-scale protest was held in the capital Managua. They believe that the excavation of the canal will pass through the protected areas of many Aboriginal people, destroying the land they depend on for survival. The canal will also pass through Lake Nicaragua, the country's most important freshwater lake, which is an important freshwater source for the country and should not be threatened. The opening of the canal will also cause the destruction of forests and endanger the coral reefs along the coast. Demonstrators also demanded more transparency on the project and increased compensation for land acquisition and demolition. In addition, the terrain of the canal is complex, and it needs to pass through multiple terrain areas such as plains, hills, mountains, and plateaus, as well as several rivers and lakes. Moreover, natural disasters such as hurricanes and earthquakes often occur in this place. On the second day after the signing of the Nicaragua Canal project, a 6.6 magnitude earthquake occurred in Nicaragua, so the construction of the canal in this country requires strong technical support. The cost of digging the canal has increased over time. Since Nicaragua has many volcanoes, most of the magma from the eruptions enters the canal. The original plan was to use the method of blasting at the bottom of the river, but now it has been changed to a manual method, which directly doubled the cost and time. In the face of huge demand for funds, whether Chinese companies can successfully raise funds has always been controversial. The Nicaragua Canal will also face the threat of the Panama Canal, because the Panama Canal has been operating for more than 80 years and has considerable experience, and the transformation of the Panama Canal will be cheaper than digging the Nicaragua Canal. The volume of voyages after the opening of Nicaragua will also be unknown, and whether the cost can be recovered is another matter. Under the influence of the above factors, the construction process in China has been continuously affected, and the efficiency has been greatly reduced, so that work had to be stopped later. Up to now, this project is still on hold, but in recent years, the exchanges and cooperation between China and Nicaragua have become closer, and the free trade agreement negotiations have been accelerated. With the increasing frequency of economic cooperation, the political relationship between the two countries has also been improved. Nicaragua's demand for canal construction continues unabated. In the near future, the project is expected to be restarted. By that time, the clear-eyed Nicaraguan people will no longer be so vulnerable to the siren call of the United States, and the canal's completion and operation will no longer be a distant prospect. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.